มีติดเทอันนี้อยู่นะนิ่งจริงมีนุ่งไว้เลยนะขันนี้ไทยมีนุ่งไว้เลยนะกับเพียนกระสับเลยนะตัวเป็นเจ้าสวยแต่กายนี่โบนะนุ่งไว้เลยนะกับเพียนลงไม่ลงผู้ใครใส่กุ้งสูดเข้าไม่ให้กุ้งสูดแต่กายเป็นไทยลัดให้ปุ้ยลัดให้ซ้ำตัวนี้ของลัดให้คัดสุนะเจริญรวงตรงลัดคัดสุนะสุนิตุงติมิให้ไม่ลงดีไม่ Citizen Forum ขันนี้coordinate สุนัยนี่ของ RWOK Local Welfare Organization โคลกัตตาไม่เลยรู้แล้วนะอาศัยไปไม่ถึงที่เขาเดือนกุมภาพันธ์ April 2025 อันนี้การนั้น 230เราตรงไหนที่230ที่นี่เขียนหมายเท่แล้วบินูเป็นนะ London Kid Preschool Saproji New Town โคลกัตตาแล้วก็ให้ต่อให้นี่ผมว่าไม่โปรแกรมให้เขาสุดก็ไม่ลงก็ให้กายไม่นุ่นไม่ลงโปรแกรมก็ให้ไทยดูไปนุ่นแบบนี้กระตรงspecial ไลน์สูงนะแต่ว่าไม่นุ่นด้วยนะโปรแกรมสิ่งลงไม่ตรงโปรแกรมเท่ของดีไซน์ของเราgong web misalnya zoom mai singkes tadi misalnya tu mai zoom dua ini suku orang nak program kita cuci nak tak kaya bukan aneh tu dengan zang web nanti ai program hai untuk deh minit cuci tambu itu pun hai long kalau tuai long itu program kan tu plan sebelum tu teh kita jadi program tehทั้งชุดนะโปรแกรมไทยไลน์นะปากไก่ก็จะเอานี่โมเดเลเตอร์จะนำหินออกมาไม่นะดิ่งว่าไม่ไอ้ได้กว้างเรียบไม่ไอ้นะใจแบบนี้เท่ทั้งเขา invocation prayer ไอ้นี่ก็สกวางสุไมนี่pastor รองไป Christian Fellowship โคลกัตตาเดวิดกวนไม่เวลาลูกนี้ทั้งเขา welcome address and opening remark ini tu sekuang sumai ini tu Dr. Peters gang mai na mai tu details sai tu Luangdilat Khuang ini Luangdilat Workbook tu itu details tu mai wai na salok ni thai không tu ni orang wai na sai tu timit tu kaba tu mai wai na details ko king sam tu ni ani musical piece hai nai nu bom me kong te nugai me kon ko hai Mr. Lee Tong lu de mai ko na la to ni king sap to ni me to le loi da kan ni thai release of Luangdilat Khuang by chief guest anu ni sakwang sumai Mr. Dai riap mai mai na ni tu Luangdilat Khuang tai release of that niทั้งไม่ตัวได้นี่ไทยนี่เป็นกวางสมัยตัว short speech แบบ chief guest นี่เป็นกวางสมัยได้แบบไม่นะพวกนี้นะอันนี้ของได้ไม่ตรงหลักอันนี้แปลว่ายังไม่ได้อันนี้ของชาวดอกนี้กินสับปะรดนี่ไม่ตัวเลยกันในสายไทยขับเลี้ยงไม่เขาbenediction นายเขาตัวนี้ตัวกวางสมัยนี่เป็น brother dunia riak mai, dalam ni itu luar dah ni itu ini itu kami siang tu itu light refreshment ni ada me, me ya site tu dua itu program hai, itu kita tahu hai program kau itu sekolah semua ini pastor David Wong, kami ada na, kami tu invocation prayer lalu kita kerja tu.
Iwan araw sa pangso na timon ko ay ko ring mirawang ani po nang kakaloy na tuon ko ay say hay gagangay may kadaw sa amin tilaw na Luangdilat releasing ceremony hay ani po city ani bang naman itong kaday ko gata ko ni gagangay tilaw na tilaw okay sa takay binit hay itong program segment do may nang rebam sa na so here no เราเลยในรีซาส่วนใหญ่นั้นไม่สาใครนั้นไม่ส่วนใหญ่นั้นก็บ่อยให้ nang him khang ti san me tong nai te ko ko ti doi me tong gan mong ni sapat me son pa me ko goi ha nang him khang sapat son pa me program sangam khang in tao ko hok ri tham loi me ngan na ri bang sa no khang Nazareth ku Jesus Christa ni za ko tu na ye Jesus dai ko amen
Kalkutai also menu to Pastor David Gomez tunggu mai tunggu rasuan lampalo mai tunggu rasuan lalu mai kanta tahu hai tahu kau welcome address and opening remark hai ni tu also menu to Dr. Titus Gang mai kau dengan kita so
Đại meeting chung, cái gì mình có anh từ tắm nó mày ra không có bọn mày, Nazareth của Jesus đã con cô ấy, gần đại mình đó mình tham gia, có mình là tầm này mình có anh cũngจะควงสมัย chief guest นี่ผม serve ได้เรียบไหมอันนี้แม่ในวงตั้งมันนะใส่ให้ chief guest ตรงกลางแล้วมันจะคนกู้มีตรงนี้serve ได้เรียบไหมให้ก็ไม่ให้ additional central PF provisional fund ถ้าตรงนี้นี่ไง government of India ตรง commissioner เต้ก็มันกี้ member คันนี้ elder Luangdilat Citizen Forum ตรงไม่ elder board นี่ประมาณตรงเท่ตรงนั้นไม่ไปนะครับ future vision ไหนไม่มันใช่กันเท่นี่ตรงลุงวงนี่มีวง generations ลุงทั้งสิ่งนี้ก็มาไปนะครับก็ขั้นลงไม่กระลุงบุญเล่าไม่ใช่ไหมตาเท่ลุงสู้นะตาโนไม่กัดเท่ดีเดอร์กัดเท่ตรงนี้มาตรงไว้ในภาษาตะวันนี้ก็มาไม่เท่าดิ่งนี้แต่ก็มาไทยตั้งแต่ไม่ได้สร้างส่วนในตรงเกี่ยวกับนั้นก็มาไปนะคะชาร์บินทำไมไปนะคะแกสเป็นที่สุดท้ายสุดนะก็มาตรงเกี่ยวกับตัวรัฐสภาเนี่ยนิวไทยนี่เด้ก็มาตรงนี้ดาร์โซ่ทำไม่ได้ไอ้ก็นะครับกับตัวรัฐสภาส่วนแต่ก็มาไอ้ก็กิ้งวงดีไซน์กันไปนะคะเราโตไว้ inspiring สวยก็มาไปนะคะทนกูไว้ใช่ในแบงก์วงเราไม่ได้ก็มากันในเป็นก็อันนี้ตรงโรคไม่ welfare organization โคลกัตตาตรงนี่ตรง general secretary ก็ไม่คนสุดท้ายพวกอังลุงดำไม่นี่ก็กันจิ้งเท่ที่เขาไม่นะก็มาเขาวงกระจกก็ขังนะก็มาวงตั้งวงแต่คนผู้ไม่ดำไม่ตรงนี้ก็มาอันนี้ตรงpastor คันนี้ตรง members นึงไว้โรคไม่ welfare organization โคลกัตตาตรง members ไว้คันนี้โรคไม่ Christian fellowship โคลกัตตามึงไว้นะคันนี้มาเปลี่ยนตรงนี้นะ welcome สวยคันนี้คนผู้ไม่ดำไม่ตรงนี้ใส่ให้Luangdilat Khuang, Luangdilat Workbook ตรงนี้กษีปลอมแท้อันนี้เป็น commission Luangdilat commission อันนั้นเลยนะก็นายนะกษีปลอมตรงแท้ไม่ให้ 7,000 words อันนี้รวมไม่ตรงหลักเลี้ยงไม่ตรงหลักเจไม่ตรงหลักคุยไม่ตรงหลักก็มา English คนนี้ translate ชุบปลอมไม่ก็มาให้อันนี้ตรงทนเตาอันนี้นั่นแหละคือเตา English อันนี้ชินที่ไม่พอ English ตรงเบียร์นั่นวนปัดอันนี้ก็มา Gen Z ถ้าตรงนี้ Gen Z ต่างกันแต่ Alpha Beta ก็ไม่น่าให้ก็มาแต่ว่า this year จะต้องเป็นกลุ่มปวดเป็นนั่นนี่รู้ไหมนี่ผู้เป้านั่นไว้นั่นนี่นะรู้ไหมนั่นแค่เจไม่เลี้ยงไม่รู้ไหมคุยไม่ต้องชาวบ้านบ่อยต่างมุ้งที่กิจแท้มันแต่กันขนาดก็ไม่แจ้งกันนะกันนี่เลยนะให้มันมาขัง heritage reserves แล้วขังก็เดาบางทีริงบางคนนี่ขังมันมาขังกันนี่นะลุงนิ่งเขาดูแล้วนะกันนี่นะเราไม่ต้องปวดแท้ก็มาให้ใช้โคลกัตตาคนนี้ launchเท่ก็มา release เราเท่ก็มา April จูสุมิตรงบ้าให้ผมให้ตรง last but ให้นี่ว่าเนียนเพราะเนียนเป็นปังให้ตรงสิบัมให้ก็มา launch บัมให้เกี่ยวโคลกัตตาให้ better late than never ทำให้ตัวตาปนี่เมื่อวันนั้นโดย12ก็ wrap up สุดนี้ตรงหนึ่งเท่ที่ไอ้นั่งมาแท็กใส่นิวสุดเราตรงเท่นะก็มา request that นะก็ตรงเท่นุกเราตรงเท่ elder board กันอยู่นุกเราเท่คนกู้มีตรงเท่ก็มาให้saya April kau semua itu kebar tak naik sama itu ani untuk pupau rai kau sangna ri na ko ma kata village inter village ko mari ko mai ko me hoi te the kai ni tum timi ke 1934 kau hey April kau ni wa kan su andai ang wei wong na hey the lo ko hey April tung significance ka thum sa lo ni April tung timi ko hai ani tung jileng rong pui ko ma ri su mai ko mai brothers ka ko ma khai bak pa ko me ko mai wong ka riu mi tung timi ke sai mai tung timi ko hai ko ma April 2 ครับก็มากันนิวสนาไว้ที่มีเท่า สนาไว้ที่มันกู้ขันเอาปัดที่ไม่ได้วงดักเรียวนะกันนี่เจ๊ก็บังขันเอาตุ้งไก่ละเกตู้จังสังนั่นนะสมัยตรงเต็มแต่ก็มันตัดก็ไม่กันพอขาดตลาดไม่ต้อง mistakes เราวันนี้พวกเราปรีเลยนะใส่ตัวขันนั่นที่เท่ reconciliation จุนะขาดแต่ forgive each other จุนะวงดันไม่ตรงเท่ก็มันนะ number 3 point เลยนะAlmighty God นี่ Almighty God ผู้ขวางเลยนะกันนี่ให้ออดลาตรงเท่ก็มาวิลวงตัวนะนายไม่ต้อง village ก็ได้วิลวง village ก็ได้จะสังโบนิวเมย์ทำไมเนี่ยนะให้ตรง ritual แต่ก็มันลาบาลตรงเท่ใช่จุกสุไมถ้าตรงนี้จุกถอยเบถ้าตรงนี้นี่ขัดไหนให้ตรง ritual แต่ส่วนเราที่ให้ตรงไหน brotherhood แต่ก็มันระวังปริวนะให้ตรง April บุให้ผมสนใจก็มันจะเป็น April บุให้นี่ผมก็บุ release มันนี่ไปนะคะไปนะ significance เว้ยก็มันนะตาวมองไว้ไม่ค่อยนี่นี่ขัดมาใช้ blood line ขัดหัววงปังเท่นี่บางใบนั่นลัดใบบางคนนี่ขัดหัววงตรงเท่ก็เป็น brotherhood นี่หัวลมดีไม่ช้ำกันกว่าใครเจมันนี่เลี้ยงมันให้ร้องมันนี่คุยมันก็จับมันเท่ขัดนั่นเท่เนี่ยครับบอดี้ขัดนั่นเท่ก็เป็นแรงเป็นนะไม่ตรงตามที่นี่ก็มา LCF เป็นนะตรงนี้รังลงดีไม่ Citizens Forum เป็นนี่ก็จูสนะเราตรงเท่กันในสายก็มาให้ตรงนั้นนี่มันที่เราแค่ก็มาไอ้ไกด์นั่นนี่สาระแค่ให้ที่นั่นเขาสาวนะอันนี้แต่ก็มาอันนี้ตรง Chief Guest ของราคาที่นั่น Felicitate เรานี่มัน present ขัดนั่นเรานี่ไม่ไหนอันนี้ตรงอาจจะควงสมัยGeneral Secretary RWOK คนที่เราดักไม่บ้านเลยนะนี่ผมชี้เกี่ยวกับขั้นนั้นที่เราเนี่ยให้แต่ละคนรู้เดียวว่าต้องแก้này kiểu có rèn ăn rồi mình theo có mà chim guest là gần đó mà tức mà còn mày là details là sáng biết là sáng long mình sẽ được đâu mẹ quay ra lúc vào thu dạy mình này điêu rồi cũng không thu dạy thì nó sẽ điêu trong cuộc thế
phần cụ thể là mình còn welcome address cả đi nhiều long mình còn headline các em thì long mình hàng tá tao hay cái ngày mình phát triển sản phẩm của mình cái nào số này Mr. những tàu đen mày còn đu gai cái này cho nên là cũng không số thôi
Sunday kami ni tu program oleh apa yang tahu ai lu ai sponsor thai deh jadi New Zealand wrong tong teams ni azai ni solam ni tahu solam deh Đất về tao lại người ta muốn xứ Rồi đất về ao đi một cái gì cô Lý kê lo luôn tình thân
Phần của thầy nhiều cái nó xung mày standing tàu ghé mày con gai mày lúc gai mày vì cô cần đi không lắc na thôn cô ba mày hăng lu xuân đất na thôn cô na ba mày tung lu có con gái mày cái lông ninh sinh thôi đấy nào không có đi sắp nó xóa lo mày lu hay xóa lo mày cô lu cái này rồi xoay hình thì lo mày sụt thôi tao hay mà thằng ta cái ta mày sụt thôi mà thằng có release of Luangdilat Khuang by chief guestนี่คือสุขความสมัยนี่คือ chief guest Mr. Dai Riap Maiก็เขาเลยนะไม่คงrelease book release สุดที่ต้องการเลยสิ่งที่มีสุดที่ต้อง
Let's call everybody. không chỉ là có hay lòng let us all hold this đấy cái nó phát sắc không này nữa đó cái luôn một năm atas bentuk
Usul ini ngomong kok satu nanya nyopang nih kalau. Wah ini sini. Saya mau. Chốt.
tình trạng ngoại thế này vấn đề này đây Luangdilat Citizens Forum là Luangdilat Khuang hay any say this of them cái này cả
Good day, you can sabang sumay, you can chief guest, Mayrana, you can Luangdilat Khuang release moment anta, away you can chief guest network na katong kung gamay kung jam kat short space ko kin jam to ni, ngayon tayo you can sabang sumay you can chief guest Mr. Dai Dai Mayrana gagan lalang misuto.
Lấy riêng với khâu rồi một cái bệnh nhân đấy là chuẩn cụ thể say Palm Sunday, Happy Palm Sunday to everyone. Là người quay đến ra là mấy đầu căn sĩ cái công ra thành cái này sắm đặt không bệnh nhân đấy là không được thế. Là rồi là đi sau nữa thì cái English này tức là convenience mà cái trang rồi ông là English là sáng thì tôi đi cái gì, anh quay lại thay đi cái. Okay, good afternoon, respected and distinguished guests. And our leaders, Titus, Dr. Titus, Pastor David, Sanapu down by General Secretary, Welfare, and all other sisters and brothers. I'm very, very excited and delighted to be here in our midst. And it is really an honor to be here on this remarkable occasion of Luangdilat Khuang Releasing Day. This word book is something which is, we are doing it for the first time, which is the beginning of the small steps that we have taken today. Today marks the historical moments for all of us. When I say when, all of us, it includes all the Luangdilat people. A living testament of our rich heritage. This is not just a celebration of our past, but it's a beginning of a new chapter for our people. A movement initiated by Luangdilat Citizens Forum to ensure that our future generations will speak in a language that is not only intelligible but also rich in meaning and pride. Some may have once thought that such a dream are beyond our reach, but today we stand as a living proof that we are not merely a dreamer, we are doers. And through our collective efforts, we turn the impossible into reality. I still vividly remember the seminar I initiated in Delhi in 1987 along with our Zeleng student unit, where we organized a seminar, and one of our friends, my dear brother, Dr. Ingam Pame, is in the Indian Information Service, Regional Director, posted in Northeast now, delivered a compelling presentations on why it was crucial for us to have our own language. Dr. Ingam is also a member of Luangdilat Commission. We are the team. And he spoke with passion about the importance of preserving and promoting our linguistic heritage. Now, 37 years passed since we had a seminar. And I stand here filled with immense joy and pride as I witness the realizations what was once a dream. We dream of this moment, and today we are finally witnessing the light of the dream shine brightly upon us. This is just the beginning of the exciting journey. While the road ahead of us may be long, we are certain that with determinations and perseverance, we will advance step by step towards our goal. In the next edition, we are planning to publish a conversational speech, which means that we will have Luangdilat, we'll have English, and also we'll have all the other dialects, Puilat, Zelat, Liangdilat, Luangdilat, so that we can compare and see what is being said and how we can understand each other. Then eventually we will come up with our alphabets, because our phonetics are very different from English. So that variations we have to work on that. And we will also work on a textbook starting from primary to secondary. It's milestone which bring us closer to the strengthening and preserving our language for generations to come. Together we'll make this vision a lasting reality. This vision cannot be done by only few, but every one of us, including every one of us without exceptions. We have to get involved. That is my appeal and my request to all of you. Someone was asking me this. It is a good initiative that LCF have taken or Luangdilat Commission have done, but my concern is that Luangdilat might make our existing dialects less relevant and less frequently used. So for some, there may be some fear that, if this language comes and we start, eventually, if everything goes well, and 20 years down the line, 30 years, every one of us can speak in Luangdilat. And then we meet our Zeme brothers or language speaking sisters, and we start speaking only in Luangdilat, then there is a fear that, we stop speaking Luangdilat or Zelat. But my answer to this is that Luangdilat is not meant to replace any of the existing Luangdilat dialects. Instead, it aims to enhance and complement them by providing a common ground for communicating while preserving the richness and diversity of each dialect. We need to be proud that we have this many dialects. We need to learn how to look good things about us, not looking in a other way around. As ano zato, kailan kabang kasi hada makita zela, we look at it in a very negative sense. But look at this way, how rich we are. The descendants of Makui Luangdi, now we have this variance of the dialect or the language that was once spoken grown into a different variance, and we are speaking 4 dialects at least now. And there's a richness of our people. And it should be something that should make us feel proud. In fact, much before, way back in the 1970s, all Zeleng student unions have felt the need to have a common language for our people. And those were the time when the enthusiasm or the love for Zelengrong was growing leaps and bounds. At this moment, I also want to appreciate and give my heartfelt gratitude, though they may not be here, to Zelengrong Bauti and all Zelengrong student unions for taking the vital steps in making a common language a reality for our people, for their pioneering work and effort in creating the Zelengrong Common Language in the year 2015. We are incredibly grateful to them for graciously allowing Luangdilat Citizens Forum to convert that significant common language into a Luangdilat apps, which we used for a few years and in the year 2018. I also want to highlight a little bit about the work of Luangdilat commissions that we have gone through. Now, when we look at the small book, we may think, oh, this is small, tiny books. You must have done, few people must have come and sit together for a few hours and done it. But it is not as light or as simple as it is. So I will definitely like to highlight a little bit on that. We were 7 members, constituted in the year 2019, November 14, as a Luangdilat commission by Luangdilat Citizens Forum. And it was resolved in the Ceylon conclave in 2017. Now, 7 of us, each of us have our own respective responsibility. All of us are working, but we have dedicated over more than 4 years to come out with small tiny books, which you may call it a very small book. And the Luangdilat Workbook come to life because of that little effort that we have put in. And we have worked about 4,200 hours together to work into that, to make about approximately 4,000 words. So you can imagine that every word we have spent about almost an hour. Of course, up and down, some words are very, very, very natural. For example, let me say a word pak. Okay? Pak ni. Pak is in Liangla, Rongla, Zela, Kuila. So no problem. Okay, pak, okay, so there's no problem. Let's come to it. But there are some words where it is different in all the dialects. Then we need to see to it which one, or how we need to create the word so that it is closest to what our forefathers must have spoken about too long. So there we need a lot of deliberation, discussions. 7 of us would have different views on all those particular words. So some words it takes us more than an hour. So that's why in average we took about 60 minutes for making one coming to conclusion to agree to the word. However, having said this, we Luangdilat commissions does not say that this is the best and the final. This is just the beginning. We have made something to begin with, and we appeal and request to every one of us here to give us the feedback, suggestions, and the word they are missing. There you will find a lot of words missing there. In fact, even while we are in the process of finalizing these booklets, we realized that some words are missing. So we need to go on adding, but then we said, oh no, we need to give it stop to end because it's never going to end. So we need to put an end to it. But still, we know that there are a lot of things that we need to go on working on it. But so we request all of you, as you go back, go through it and see, and at any point of time, if you feel that there is a word, important word is missing, or you feel that this word doesn't seem to be proper, you have a suggestion to it, we are most welcome. You are most welcome to do that because we have given an email in that booklet. That is the main purpose of that. But let me also just share with this one simple example. The Meitei Loan, most of us are from Manipur, so we know Meitei Mayet, Meitei Loan. They also started their revival of the language in the 70s. In fact, at almost the same time when our people become consciousness about the need of our common language, the Meitei people also started to realize that the script they are using is not their script, it is Bengali script. So, and they want to revive it. So, in the 70s they come together and Meitei Loan, but finally they have succeeded in accomplishing their wish or their desire today. But in the 18th centuries, the scripts were replaced by the Bengali scripts, and that is one of the main things which they would like to replace it. And in the 70s, what they do is they started learning this new script of Meitei Mayet as an extra curriculum work in the evening, school. So the school-going students, or even for the women, homemakers, anybody were welcome to come and learn the script, how to write, and making some words out of the scripts. While they're still doing that, among their intellectuals, there were a lot of discussions, deliberations, arguments, fights.
to come to conclusion that which is the right scripts, because they were different intellectuals are coming up with a different script. So finally they agreed to that 27 scripts to agree. And then they come out with this that, okay, to begin with, let's implement in the school extra optional subject till class 5. Then that optional subject class 5 went on to 8, then went on to 10, then to 12. Now in today's, any of our younger children or brothers or sisters who are studying Manipur, they have to complete Meitei till class 12. It's a mandatory, it's a compulsory now. It is no more optional. 70 they started, we were aware of that. Meitei people aware of that changes that required. Now they have implemented it. But in a way we have been little left behind in that journey of that, of having that language. Of course, we have our own different dynamics as well. Of course, not as compared to the Meitei loan of Meitei. And today, in 2021, the Manipur government have implemented to use Meitei Mei along with Bengali scripts as an official language in Manipur state. Earlier they were using this Kakha and Meitei Bengali scripts. Now they are. So that concurrently they use both the Meitei Mei and the Bengali for another 10 years. After that they will remove the Bengali script. So people have succeeded. Now some of us may be thinking, oh, just beginning this few 4,000 words, what are we going to do? Yes. There's a saying, 1,000 miles begins with a single steps. That's the Chinese proverbs. And I think if we believe and if we all of us work together, those little single steps together, I'm quite definite that we will be able to realize those visions, maybe not for us, but for future generations. So let me just share 3 why in today's gathering when we talk about this Luangdilat. The first why is, why Luangdilat, or do we need Luangdilat? Today at least I can converse Ronglat. We are all Ronglat speaking people. But if you go to, let's say, Zaluke, or go to NCK, or go to Tausiam, or go to Rikyam, or Topun, or Tening, what do we speak? English, or Nagamese. I have heard people, Liangmai and Rongmai, speaking Manipuri. We have seen that, it's very common, right?
Yeah.
Now think of it, seriously, let's just contemplate on that. How sad it is that we are the same descendants of Makuirongdi, but yet we have to use someone else's language to communicate with one another. For me, it pains my heart. And I yearn to speak in my own language, my own people. When I speak someone else's language, for even as I speak English, I cannot express what is deep down inside as much as I want to be than speaking my own dialect or my own language. So that is the reason why Luangdilat is a need of the hour. And all of us must have missed, or all of us have missed the opportunity of you speaking this Luangdilat. If we work hard, probably another 30 years, 25 years, maybe we will be able to start having those books and start conversations with one another. But then, let's think about our future generations. The thing that we miss, do you want our younger generations to miss the same thing? I remember, we used to say, when I was a school boy, we used to sit in Pauna Bazaar because I'm from Takulong. And, in front of that road, we used to talk about, these buildings, elders used to say this is all empty, jackals and fox used to roam around and howl and all. Elders should have, occupied some space. Today we could have got the plot of land and have shop. Probably it may be not possible, or probably they have not contemplated or have not seen the future. But the same thing can happen to us by our future generations. If we don't start working now, they will say that, oh, how I wish my elders 30 years, 40 years ago had them work on a language that we can converse with one another. how blessing it would happen for us. The same kind of analogy can be taught against us. So we need to be responsible. We need to work on this together, where we can communicate with one another seamlessly and our heart can truly understand one another. This is my dream, and to speak in one language, to converse from heart to heart without any hindrances, and that will be the Luangdilat among our Luangdilat people. And in this moment, if you all agree with me and say that yes, this should be the way, then I think perhaps the race is a history. And we can journey together and we can work together. And I'm sure that it will come to pass. The seed that we plant today may be small, but it will grow. Though we may not fully see the fruits of our effort, future generations will look back and remember the steps we took. They will be grateful for the foundation we laid, for the unity we envisioned, and the world we helped create. Second why, as Brother Titus have shared a few thoughts on that. Why on 1st April? So this launch is supposed to be on 1st April, but we are doing on the 13th April. That's okay. We want to connect with the day which is important in our history. So our ancestral history tells us that the cradles of civilizations originate from Makui Luangdi. According to legends, our forebear flourished in this land, growing in number up to 7,777 households. We all know that. That's why 7777 is a prime number. It's an important number for Luangdilat people. However, due to various social and environmental factors, different groups began to disperse in different directions at different times. As some of you must have heard about Makui Luangdi, that we lived there and this many, but then we went away one fine day. There are a lot of stories saying that we were enjoying so much so that we forgot how to sow our crops, and then one fine day we realized that we are too late, and we have to go to disperse from there to find a livelihood in other direction. These are all little sound nice stories, but the reality, if you look back and see a few things, that you realize that the dispersions of Makui Luangdi civilization didn't take place overnight. It must have taken about a few hundred years. If you ask me, my assessment, the timeline of the dispersions, people left finally, evacuated Makui Luangdi must have taken about 300 to 400 years. Now I'm talking about Makui Luangdi civilizations about more than 2,000 years ago. Some earlier have given a short duration, about 500-600 years. No. Makui Luangdi civilization was about more than 2,000 years ago. How do I say that? What is the proof that you say that our ancestors say that there was a fight, another version that there was a fight among the brothers, and then they decided to disperse, everybody then suddenly dispersed, and one become Romai, Lemai, Zemai, whatever. These are all sound nice story kind of thing. But my evidence to say that the dispersion in Makui Luangdi took place at different point of time is this, that if you go to Makui Luangdi, by the way, I would like to welcome and invite all of you for Makui Luangdi Festival 2, which is going to be in November 20th to 23rd, which is tentatively fixed for this year. Please make an effort. You know, going to the Hornbill Festival 10 times, instead of like come to Makui Luangdi once, they'll be more worthy. And you will see how our ancestors have lived there. Now coming back to the evidence, our forefathers, when they left Makui Luangdi, they didn't leave the place willingly or happily. They have to leave because there is some compulsion, as I assume that it probably is the environmental factor, difficulty of cultivations and many other things. Of course, with so many families of 7,777, it can be, you know, happy civilization. Everybody is happy, everybody is agreeing. There will be some disagreement, this thing and that thing. So all this factor putting together, some left. But then when they leave, they left a stone, because that's our culture, saying that I'm leaving my ancestors' land, and this stone is the evidence that one day I will come back. to this my village, my ancestral village. So there are stone piles. So had Bakulongdi dispersion had been taken one time, there would have been one big stone pile. When you go to Bakulongdi, you will find at different sites of different piles, which indicates that leaving Bakulongdi was not at one time. It has taken a different stage at different point of time. So it is very interesting. You must come and see our ancestral place. So some of our research scholars also says that dispersed people who move to the southern part are known as Maruang Mai. Maruang means in Luangdilat empty. Okay, Maruang Mai means the people who went to the empty space. And from the Maruang Mai comes the Luang Mai. And those people who went to the plain on the northern side, Zang Mai or Zang Mai. Zang means from there Ze Me or Ze Mai. That's how the name derives. And those people who left in Bakulongdi and the others who have gone there, they call them Aki Liang Mai or Kiliang Khat Mai. Kiliang Khat Mai means our own fraternity or our own people, our own group. From there, Kiliang Khat Mai, from there derives the word Liang Mai. So these are the words that derives of the directions. That's one of the versions that says. Anyway, let's move forward the history a little bit. So thousands, hundreds of years passed, we moved to different directions, north, south, east, west, whatever. Then by the 19th century, the British started coming in, and at that point of time, we are not living, or we live without a unified leadership or shared identity. Each village were living for themselves. This changed with the emergence of Haipao Zarmana in 1905 and Rani Gedilu in 1915, who awakened our people to the need for unity. Their movement against British rule spread rapidly, uniting Zelenong community across Manipur, Assam, and North Kasar Hills. However, the British, wary of our strength, responded with operations. On 29th August 1931, Haipao Zarmana was falsely accused and executed, and Rani Gedilu was imprisoned for life. Heavy tax was imposed upon our Luangdilat people, or Luangdilat village. 6 rupees per household per year, double the tax than any other tribes, because we were rebelling against them with the Haipao Zarmana's movement and Haipera. During this difficult time, intertribal relationships were at the lowest point. Many Zelenong villages viewed each other as enemy, and it was a taboo to share food and drinks with people from rival villages. The British exploited further this division, used local collaborator, and weakened our unity. Now, recognizing the danger of continuing disunity, our forefathers sought to reunite for survival and self-preservation. This led to a historic public meeting on 15 January 1925 and formed a group called Agang Mai, then which renamed into Kabui Ching Sang in 2027, then eventually formed a Kabui Simiti, then Kabui Simiti eventually changed into the name of Kabui Zelenong Council. This organization instills a new sense of unity among our people in the plain as well as in the hills. So a little bit of the formation of the Zelenong Council. In 1933, the British officer C.S. Booth, the sub-divisional officers, met our leaders to understand our ancestral heritage. They informed him that the Kabui and the Kachanaga, because those are the time when we are referred to as Kabui and Kachanaga, shared the same lineage and was inseparable in their way of life. Booth advised our elders to form a union, stating that unity will strengthen your people. So on the 1st April 1934, our elders come together and perform what is called Suksu Garau Mai. Suksu Mai, Suksu Garau Mai. And it is also called as Koibe and Zel people and Sugo and Yanga. So this is a day of reconciliations, and here we come together, give our past, our history, and all our misunderstanding. And then, as Dr. Titus have said, that three important things I would like to repeat it because this is very important for us to know as well. One is that we all agree that we will stop our dreaded war, what is called as Signari, the village feud, the fight between village to village. The second important thing is that all the brothers came together, ate and drank together as a unity of brotherhood and forgiving all our past and restoring the fraternal tie that was once broken. And the third, which is very important as well, is that we declare that anyone who violates the oath of unity would be judged by Almighty and held accountable to the people. Now, this is not just, we are Christians, many of us may be a Christian here, but this does not mean that since I have become a Christian, those vow the elders, our forefathers have taken, it become invalid. No. It was a vow taken to the Almighty. Who is the Almighty? If we talk in terms of biblical perspective, we talk about Jehovah. Almighty. So, which is offered or vow in front of the God of Creator. However, since the fateful day 88 years has passed, 1934, 2025, yet we find ourselves once again divided. This time along the dialectic and tribal lines, the Jemai, Liangmai, Rongmai, Impui has gone separate ways, breaking the sacred covenant of unity. Even the name Zelenro, which was once symbolized our togetherness, has now become a source of division. People, some of us, don't want to spell out the word Zelenro anymore. They feel that this is abomination for them to even use that word, which signifies a unity, one kind. Today, our people are fragmented into 7 groups: Zemai, Liangmai, Zeliang, Rongmai, Impui, Kabui, Kachanak. And there is no certainty that this division will end here. However, today, on 13 April 2025, on this auspicious day, as we gather, let us not dwell on our past mistake. Instead, let us seize the moment to embrace one another as blood brothers and sisters, as our forefather did before us. While the division among us seems deep, all hope is not lost. There are some people who are still continuously working tirelessly to restore the unity among our people, among the Luangdilat. Third why. Why Luangdilat? Many have asked, why Luangdilat Citizens Forum? We have already too many, Zelerong, Baudi, Union, and AJDS, so many things are already there. Why another organizations? But let me highlight to you how it is Luangdilat Citizens Forum come into existence. Luangdilat Citizens Forum was formed or born out of a Delhi conclave in 2010, and Delhi conclave was formed out of a Facebook group of Zelenron, where we discuss and talk about, some of us vent out our pain, our anger, our anguish about our people. Then we finally said, no, this social media is not good enough. We need to meet physically and deliberate and discuss on this platform. We all agreed. In 2010, we decided to meet in Delhi, and in that, many of our significant Zelenron organizations has come. Zelenron Bodi, Assam Manipur Nagaland, Zelenron Student Union, Assam Manipur Nagaland, Zelenron Youth Front, Assam Manipur Nagaland, Zelenron Student Union Delhi, Zelenron Welfare Association Delhi, Luangdilat Theological Forum, formerly they called themselves as Zelenron Theological Forum, and other Zelenron civil organizations. This conclave also brought scholars, intellectuals, professionals, social leaders, elders, and youth from across the country. Through extensive deliberation and discussion, a shared vision emerged that desired to start a movement for our people. Following, then we had a plan to visit ancestral villages, those important key villages. So it was in 2011, the last village that we visited was James Nui. How many of you know where is James Nui? How many of you know where is Yangkulen? Yangkulen? 1, 2. That is the problem. There is one problem where I'm going to address this along with this. Yangkulen is given by outsiders. Yangkulen is never our name. It's never used by our forefathers. It is somebody outsider who recorded in the record and said that your village name is Yangkulen. Then it was called as a James Nui. But then people get to know more as a Yangkulen than a James. But now it has changed into original name. Now villages are using as James Nui, and you and I need to be using as James Nui, not Yangkulen. Okay? So James Nui is very, very historical village, one of the very important historical villages of our people. When we disperse from Luangdilat, that is one of the oldest villages still in existence. So there, when we finished our trip there, we were going to disperse. We decided we cannot disperse without having certain agreement. So we sat over, we had a meeting, then we decided to form Zelerong Citizens Forum. Not Lolime Citizens Forum. It was Zelerong Citizens Forum. So Zelerong Citizens Forum was formed in 2011. Then between 2011 to 16, little fast forwarding, then we had a series of conclaves where we discussed about our education, economic developments, and many things in the various conclaves of the Zelerong Citizens Forum. But it was in 2017, in the conclave in Shillong, that we decided to change our name from Zelerong to Luangdilat. Now people are asking why it has to change, but we changed this because in order to better align with its purpose and objective of the organizations, or of the movement rather, which we believe in one people, one vision, and one voice. Because we realize that the name Zelerong holds a lot of contradictories within ourselves, has created a lot of, initially it binds us together, but then after a while it has, created into a lot of ruffles into so many things and created into a lot of problems into it. Particularly prevailing the patriarchal narratives or origins. The narrative says that great patriarch Wiba has 3 sons, which reinforces that the view that justify the exclusion of those deemed weak, small, and dispensable. We may, speaking people agree on this idea. The idea that the 3 sons Kading, Namgang, and Rimbangbe linked to the dialectic group of Liangmai, Zemai, and Rongmai is quite too fairy tale. To me, if you ask, I believe this story was created by someone else to explain the dialectical variation, or perhaps as a convenient myth. When examining through the lens of rationality and reasons, it simply doesn't hold true. Now, because of the myths of patriarchs that the elders says that the 3 sons, now the Puila speaking missed out there. So they have created another story, another myth. If you look at some of those research scholars or Puila speaking people, I'm sorry to just say this, that they have created that, no. Muiba doesn't have 3 sons, he has 4 sons. But in fact, these 3 sons are none of this Liangmai or Rongmai or Zemai, but rather the other 3 sons are Tangal, Maram, and some other tribes, and Puila, for the matter. So these are the kind of narratives and myths try to justify, try to fit into something which is already created in a wrong way. But as an intellectual people, as a thinkers, we need to rationalize whether this could be really true or not. Yes, I believe, having said this, that Muiba is a great patriarch, no doubt on that. There's no second opinion on that. And he certainly must have likely have 3 sons, which is the name that I mentioned. But the question is, as a patriarchal society, what about the daughters? Does he have a daughter? Might have. He must have had daughters. But we are a patriarchal society, so the daughters are not given any importance. So what happened to them? We don't know. Question is still a question mark. However, one thing is clear, the patriarch Muiba has a son, Kading, Namgang, and Rimbangbe. They are all Nakui Luangdimai or Luangdimai. Though it is unclear that whether these 3 brothers are the forefather of the current dialectic groups. The dialects we speak today are likely evolved from a language once spoken in a great Makulongi civilization, which are called as a Saralat or Ralat or Luangdilat, or we can term it as a classic Luangdilat as well. So the Luangdilat Commission is now working to rediscover or recreate as closely as possible the language that was once spoken in this great Makulongi civilizations. Now I have a little bit of differences between some of my friends. They said a Makulongi village. I said no, it is not village. It is a civilization. Have you ever contemplated 7,777 households, an average of 15 family members, because we live from grandparents to grandchildren, at least average of 15 members in a household, and we don't live like this in the city, joining all the buildings one after another. We live apart. And many of them would have their kitchen gardens. So imagine that kind of the space that the 7,777 must have occupied. It is not a village. It is a civilization. Anyway, I can go on into so many other things, but let me hold that. But Luangdilat is, so what I mean to say that some have raised the question saying that why create another organizations when there are already too many? It is just going to add confusion that are already in making and making harder for our people. But let me remind to all of us today that Luangdilat is nothing new. It is in fact a powerful rediscovery of our root, who we truly are. We all agree that one thing, we are the descendants of Makulongi. In Luangdilat traditions and culture, a person identified deeply connected to their village, with the village name often uses a prefix to their own name. You may agree to that. This connection to our ancestral heritage is what Luangdilat seeks to honor and revive. For example, if someone asks me, Nang Soramelo or Nyanglat or Nang Horamaiso, where are you from basically? That if you translate it in English, then we say that which village you are from in literal sense. I will say that I Luangsumaye or I Luangsumaye. The phonetic is a little different. So if you hear me correctly, it's also have my. That's only A and E, the different in Luangdilat and thing. I Luangsumaye, I Luangsumaye, which means that I am from a Luangsun village. That is how we are connected. So, likewise, our forefathers who lived in Makulongi, we call themselves as Makulongi, which we call ourselves as a Luangdilat because Makulongi is a little bit too stressed out. So, in order to make it a little easier and shorter, we call ourselves Luangdilat. So, when somebody says, why another Luangdilat? Luangdilat is nothing new. It's you and me rediscovering our roots, what we should be. There's so much problem with the Zelengong names. To some extent, yes, there is a truth in that as well. Because it is the suffix of the dialects which brought into Ze, Liang, Long, and we miss out Pui, create a lot of confusion. But whereas when we talk about Luangdilat, Makulongi, we are going back to the root. We belong to the Makulongi. So we are the children of that. That's why we say we are Luangdilat. Let me conclude with the philosophy of a belief of Luangdilat Citizens Movement. We believe in three things. One is we are Luangdilat. We must speak Luangdilat eventually. And we will live in Luangdilat. So the movement of Luangdilat Citizens Forum is that these three pillars is something we focus and we want to work on it. We visualize that one day we will again reach the glory of the Makulongi civilizations and we will be beyond that. Luangdilat, what is meant by Luangdilat? Luangdilat means one voice, one future. Luangdilat is more than just a language. It is the soul of our people. Without, we are scattered, divided, and voiceless. With it, we stand united, strong, and proud. It is the only language that truly belongs to us. The one thread that binds us together across generations to God. If we abandon it, we betray ourselves. If we fail to use it, we silence our future generations. Let us speak with pride. Teach with passion and carry it forward with determination. Luangdilat is not just a language, it is our identity, it is our strength, and it is our destiny. We must protect it, preserve it, and make it the voice of the people. Luangdimai, one blood, one people. We are not many, we are one. We are Luangdimai, one blood, one people, one unbreakable lineage. We are the children of Makui Luangdi, the descendants of a great patriarch Wiba, the heirs of a civilization that once stood mighty and proud in Makui Luangdi. Time may have scattered us, but our root remains the same. We are not strangers, but not divided. We are one family, one blood, bound by history and destiny. Let us never forget who we are. Let us rise together, stand together, move forward as one. One, our ancestors built a legacy. Now it is our time to honor it. Luangdiram, our land, our strength, our future. Luangdiram is not just land, it is our past, our present, our future. It is the foundation of our identity, the bloodline of our people. To lose it is to lose ourselves. To neglect it is to surrender our future. We must protect it with all our strength, defend it with all our might, cherish it with all our hearts. Every hills, every village, every rivers, every inch of Luangdiram carries the spirit of our ancestors. It is our duty to preserve it, nurture it, and pass it on to the generations to come. A people without land are the people without a future. As long as Luangdiram stands, so do we. Let us stand together, unshaken and uncompromising. Let me conclude with this saying. I want to thank to Dr. Titus and David, a pastor, and Brother General Secretary from the Welfare, Roman Christian Fellowship, and many of you who have taken part in this program, song, and many of you have contributed, many of you have done something, may not be visible, but I value and appreciate each one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your efficient minutes and making this program very, very beautiful. This moment is by the people, for the people, it's ours. So let us all take part in it to make the brighter future of our Luangdimai. I cannot do it alone, but I believe that if we come together, we have the power to move mountains. And as you go home today, if you recall and remember a few things that I've said today, please do contemplate and think about it. And what can we do for Luangdimai? Luangdimai, Uye, Luangdimai, Wisangi, Hello.
Benediction है brother सुमे दोनिया भी अपनाए और ना लाउडी दैट में तो दुई को में तो बुक रिलीजिंग प्रोग्राम है और वैसे भी सुनी उन्होंने मैं बुकलेट है पर पीस को 130 रुपीस ए और मैं ये ना मैं तो होप ना लाउडी में Thai và mẹ từ lối ta cái này program rồi cái này right refreshment cái này cái như vậy chào mừng mọi người đi làm cái chuyện là đi cùng làm cái gì sản xuất mình học mình là sinh được sự đi như cũng giờ mình sẽ còn chúng mình cũng có đôi như vậy còn là rồi đó mình còn bên đi sân để họ làm một số chuyện
Gak gimana orang dari konsep pun, ini betul masalah kau ini. người con sponsor này ra đấy điểm này gai mình tung lát xa long đi mày giờ lên rong này ví dụ sang nó như vậy đó số gai này tính cái luôn thế tapi the gai ran ví dụ sang này cũng là leaders rồi sa son đó mày có cái này nè số dạy mình không ngang khang gai ran mày như vậy tung căn đi không gai ran mình không ngang khang nó sa son đó mày quay nó đâu có đâu tung soi yam azar nó tan tập ăn nó khăm hay là soi na bên nóไม่ว่าจะลงเขามาคุมเตาระวังสายควันตอนนี้ก็ลงมาไม่ได้ด้วยนะที่เขาทำบางแม่นี่ฉันก็เท่นะมันสักตัวกองในตรงนี้ไม่ไหวกระกันได้ไหมครับอันนี้ที่ไม่ในตรงได้มันเขาใส่กระดูกมันตรงไกซ้ำทิ้งคำกันนี้อันนี้ก็ตกอันนี้มันกินคำประการใดท่องเที่ยวตายในคนยังไงเราต้องไปอันนี้ไว้ตรงโปรแกรมวังดีละบุกเรลิสไม่ต้องโปรแกรมดูแล้วก็สักตัวไปที่ตัวที่แกรันไม่ชอบตัวไหนพอมันชอบไปทำไม่สะสมแล้วไม่ดีเลยสักวันก็รู้สุดท้ายไม่ดีแล้วจนสักไม่จำไม่ดีแล้วZemo sa hen kay lang sa mo sakay pa kana mami kan di na di kon khat lai khat ani wai tonga sa me mo kas leaders wai no ka nang tong ting ka tong ding di lang kani wai tong chun ka chu sa mai kan ni beran mai chun sa na sa tong chun di lang gairan mai condition ko mang kan ni ka ting ka sun di lo saya nak ni boleh. Saya tahu nak ni bintang ni, kung tahu nak suka dengan saya kalau. Nonton tingkau soleh kani kan ditang, nombam sang. Alam gay memory line na tuang tanduan na tanda. Leaders wala nalo ka kani. Man saya ko pa nalo ka. Nonton sayang gay di na ano ba? Asoy na pamelo. Ano itong brand na doon kay Kapambay-bay na tan na bang kasi. Kung itong kwanggan, gayran may kwanggan. Mong arito ng masang. May kung batoy na ka itong sayang. Sabi sa mama, ito siyang sayang. Ano itong pagdang tayong tawag may nakasir sa siyang Amen. Amen.
Betul-betul lagi.